Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here on AGRO SUL rice. This is by AGROCAIPIRA. 323.11 megabytes download. This has 9 required mods which download automatically. We'll have a look at those in just a moment. The thumbnail is not clickbaity. I did put a question mark on the end of this. Personally, I think this is up there as one of the better Brazilian maps. I like the clarity, the sort of more gritty, let's say, realism to it. We've got rice on here, which is cool. The field flooding, again, that's not something necessarily new, but, you know. And there are some maps, I know some Brazilian maps that do have coffee on as well. I think if this had coffee as well, would be bang, definitely. For me, number one, primo. But the point about this is the map is based in the southern region of Brazil where rice producers cultivate around the river systems, utilising the river systems to flood their fields. Hence it being a rice one. You'll see as we go around, because there's some really nice features on this. Like I say, for me it just stood out as being tip top. So, we start at the main farm. We'll go to the map, let's have a look. This is what the map looks like. On New Farmer, we start with all of these fields which can be flooded. I think we can flood any of the fields anyway, even if we don't own them. Flood them, drain them. And this plot here, this is the main farm area. We'll talk about slot count as well in a minute. Field prices, plot prices, I have to say, considering the size of them, they're not too bad. We've got some forestry plots around the outsides, and some of the forestry plots, again, not too expensive. Some of the big ones are. We have got some extra farms and bits and bobs to buy. What I do like as well on this one, there's no periphery, verges around the outside, but every single plot can be purchased. So all the plots in the town that have got sell points, production chains, those kind of things on, you can purchase the land, which means you can add more production chains, you can add sell points, you can have whatever you want on there, do a bit of landscaping, add some decorative objects, items, whatever you want. I like that. That's a cool feature. It's always nice to see that on maps. So we'll come off of there. Slot count then. On New Farmer, which I'm on, I've already put some money in. I've taken the liberty of doing that. You normally start with 100,000, so I've put some money in just to help us go around. The slot count is 1,586. And you'll see as we go around all the equipment we start with, equipment, machinery, etc. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, that comes down to 1,431. Difference being, you don't have any of the start equipment and machinery, and you don't have any of the animal pens. I'm trying to think, did we have the sleep trigger? I think we did, but not the barn. So yeah, there's a few buildings and stuff missing, but you don't have the animal pens as well. That's something to be aware of. I then removed those buildings that were left, because there are a couple of others you'll see as we go around. I removed those, and I got the slot count down to 1,371, and it looked like this. So you can clear a load of stuff out if you want to. We do have contracts, they are available, and we do have custom crops. We have pinto beans, black bean, and we've got rice, so 3 additional crop types over and above. The pinto, black bean and rice can all be planted with seeders. The pinto beans and black beans can also be planted with planters. I'll show you, it's easier to show you, isn't it? If we go down here, you'll see the extra crop types there. So rice, black beans and the pinto bean. So planters will do all 3. Seeders, sorry, I'm confused. Seeders will do all 3. Then planters will only do the black bean and pinto bean. So if you want to do rice, it's got to be with the seeder. The other 2 can be either. And all of them are harvested using a regular header. What I'm going to do now, if I turn around here, we've got a tractor and trailer just there. We've got a lot of modded stuff, I'm going to talk about that as well in a moment. And here are some of our flooded fields. As you can see, the water glistening and rippling away in there. This rice field is ready to go. Now, I've already done a little clip, which I'm going to cut to now, of doing the rice harvesting, because doing the rice harvesting also produces, if you've got it enabled, a swath, but not a straw swath. I'll cut to that now. So if you look bottom right, that's showing hay, not straw. That's a curious one. I am also going to point out at this moment, I should have drained the field. I got overexcited And I thought, oh, you know what I'll do? Let's get on with it, show some rice harvesting and see what these swaths are. And so I've just dropped a hay bale into a wet field. I know you shouldn't do that, of course, but it is a hay bale. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. Also, what I want to do is I might go and grab a trailer. I want to unload some rice. I do like the effect of it driving through. I mean, obviously you can see the water off at a distance. That's because of the draw distance on console. See, this one's not open, so you can't see in the top. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and grab a trailer, and we'll unload some in, and then that can then be taken off to there's a little facility, a little factory we've got on site for dealing with our rice. You can just sell the rice as it is, but we have another option for it. That's pretty cool. I like it, and I like when you look around. It's not that alpine landscape around. Like I say, I don't know. It's difficult to put your finger on. I've said it a lot on map tours, but there's just something about this one. I don't know what it is that sort of makes it stand out a little bit more for me personally. Now, what I also don't often do when I do map tours, I don't have seasons on. But this did specifically talk about the seasonal growth plan is personalised and has off seasons for various different things. You'll see we start here, we're in February, normally you sort of start August time. And the various different crops have different planting and harvesting to, I say to usual, I mean what is usual, what is normal, it depends on every map. But it does also go on to say, in the description, you go down to the bottom there, if you look at pinto beans, black beans and rice, being January, February, March time for harvest, and the rice being February, March, it says in the description, rice harvested in January and February can regrow, like sugarcane, so you wouldn't have to replant it. Again, just something to be aware of. Like I say, the growth calendar, if you are going to run seasons, I don't always run it. So if you're not following the crop calendar, that's fine, but if you are following it, jump in, have a look, and just, because the amount of times I've done maps when I've been running seasons and I've forgotten or misread or misremembered when something can be planted or harvested and all my plans go awry. That's something that happens quite a lot. There are 20 collectibles around the map. Haven't come across any yet. I think they're game cartridges. So let's whiz around. What is cool on this map as well? Again, this is what I'm saying. It stands out to me. Oh yeah, we need to go through the menus, don't we? If we come here first of all, we've got 6 out of 108, but look, we've got piglets, porkers and sows in here. So we've got baby animals on this map, on all of the animal types except horses, actually. Not quite sure why. There weren't any foals when I went into the thing. Now's a good time, actually. Let's go into our build mode. Build mode under sheds. In addition to the 9 required mods, we've got a few sheds put in there by the map maker. We go to silos. We've got a silage clamp just there. If we go to farmhouses, we've got quite a few actually under farmhouses. There's a few different ones put in here in addition to the required mods. If we go to production, factories and roll across, we've got a few there added in. Rice husker, you'll see in a minute, line production and biogas plant. If we go to sell points, again, couple additional on top of, and I keep saying it, on top of required mods, but doesn't hurt to keep stressing that point. If we go to animals, you'll see we've got, in addition to out there on the end, these ones here. So we got under, I think all of them, cows, horses, pigs, sheep, chickens, nothing under bees, custom animal pens. Not necessarily for feed, but I think it's because they've got the babies and stuff in them. If we come to decoration and go to others, we've got various different items. The banana tree is one of the required mods, but these ones here. And then from there, I think it's under landscaping, we've got something under, there's not hugely anything over and above under painting textures, but under trees, we've got a load of trees put in. And then under plants, we've got some plants put in addition to a field create option, which gives you that ability. I don't often show it, but so you can create fields automatically. I know on Alien Jim's map on Western Wilds, if you use the ploughed one, you won't get stones. It doesn't specify that on here, but again, just something to be aware of, you know, when you're going to place these things down. But then also, if we go down to our mods and DLCs under AGRO SUL Rice, you'll see in here we've got a whole ton of stuff. You'll see the pickup in a minute. There are some nice features. I think a lot of them it's rice tyres, colour options, it's not necessarily capacities, but there's a whole load of stuff put in here that's been customised for the map, which is very nice. I think the Aquatrans is normally just water. Is it water and milk or just water? But then we've got a few extra things added in. But yeah, so whole lot of stuff added in on there. If we come across here to our next pen, you'll see sheep, goats, lambs, kids. It's all going on. 16 out of 50 here. Very cool. Hop the fence. And we've got on the property, we've got a charcoal factory. Just here, this is one of the required mods. Bring wood in, you can make charcoal, you can take that into town and you can sell it. I think we've got 3 of these around the map, but this one's on our farm that we start with. Now this again, when I said about some really cool features and why this one is standing out to me, if we open the gate and come into the cow pasture, and it's kind of an open, free reign, wandering kind of, you know. Again, we've got calves, heifers, cows, bulls, in Holstein, and Angus, we've got 52 out of 200. But what I like, I've talked a lot about agroforestry. I watched a thing recently, was it down in Cornwall, where they're grazing or they're rearing pigs in forest areas because they're just trying to utilise as much land as possible. I love this. We've got a tree plantation and the whole pasture just goes out and around. The cows, calves, heifers, bulls, they're just wandering around amongst the trees. Now again, I'm not saying this is only found on this map, but I like the fact it's on this map. And this is a plantation, so you might look and go, oh, that's ridiculous, look how straight the roads are, but that's tree plantations are like that, you know. Very cool indeed. We do start with feeding all of them as well, which is nice. So there are some nice features. I'll be honest, I'm thinking about what Let's Play to do heading towards FS25 coming out. I haven't done a Brazilian map, and I've talked about it a lot, but this might be one that I wouldn't mind having a go at, doing some rice and beans and some different crop types as well. I don't know, just trying out some new equipment and machinery, or different equipment and machinery. Shed and shelter space just here with some of our equipment. Silage clamp. Chickens. Free range, well, yeah, I suppose technically free range, there we go. Chickens, ducks, ducklings and chicks. Lovely. Oh, didn't say 51 out of 100 we've got here. Water point. House with sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger. Just in there. I'll leave the doors open, it's a bit warm today. Look at the pickup. That's a nice touch. Look at those tyres. Very cool indeed. We do have a dog. Simba is about somewhere. Mucking around with the chickens, probably. We've got a silo, 100,000 litre capacity in here. Now this does say it's a drying silo. It's just a standard silo. It's not a production. I think it's just what it's down as. I suppose in the real world that they would have the ability to dry stuff down, but it's 100,000 litres. Fuel point just there. And then we've got a rice husker. Again, sort of thing I wouldn't mind giving a try. I haven't really done rice, you know. Husked rice. Put our rice in, we get husked rice and rice husk as a byproduct, which I'm assuming it looks like straw. So, not too bad having those as byproducts. Let's go and grab the pickup. Oh, I realised what I've done. Hang on just a moment. Okay, we're going to go... Just try and look at my map. Which way do I need to go first? I think it's this way. We're going to whiz out... Is this way? So I just need to check the map. Just didn't realise. Yes, it is this way. Cool. Which side is the opening? I think it's the side... Yeah, the side that has the wooden stake just there. Open the gate. So we're going to head out to plot 14. Right out in the sticks. Get a nice feel for the map as well, and you get some nice views on the way back. Then we'll head over there. We'll do what we always do. We'll get around the map. I'll show you all the features, all the cool stuff. Something else to point out, there are a lot of fences. You might be thinking now, oh, I just don't like that. Now, this worked before. Well, I'm going to double check this. If we go into build mode and go to demolish, even though we don't own the land, we can remove fencing. And they're in big chunks as well, big sections. So if fences aren't your thing, you can remove fences and fence sections, even on plots you don't own. Again, nice touch, nice feature. I like that as an option. Actually, that's what I was going to double check as well. What crop have we got out to our right? Is that black bean out to our right? We can double check. Pinto bean, there you go. Like I said, I'm just curious for some different crop types and different things to try out. It's those little touches like that. The tyre options on the pickups. It's a simple thing, it's a little thing. So the river cuts across the map, and all the flooded areas, or areas that can be flooded, run from it. And there are some really nice animations on how that works for flooding fields and stuff. Yeah, you'll see as we go, as I show you. It's cool. There's plenty of forestry if you want to do it, but if you don't want to do it, that's fine. There are some larger areas up to the north of the map which have got trees and stuff on, but are fairly open. Yes, you've got a field here as well, sort of in the middle of all of this. So you can do agroforestry or take some trees out or whatever you do, or if you just want to go crops. Now if you don't want to do rice, but you like the idea of the map, the rice fields, you can drain them and you can plough them and plant anything in them. You don't have to flood them. It's not, you know. And this obviously isn't the full-blown going into FS25 rice stuff, but I think what's interesting about this, it highlights as well that for FS25 that's not a new thing. Modders have been doing it for a while and are doing it, and it also highlights that the giants are doing that thing where they're looking around and thinking, that's cool, we like that, and they're kind of assimilating ideas out from the community, out from the modding community, and putting these things into the base game, which is quite cool. So up at plot 14, so we've driven all up to here. If I buy that, do that and that. So we have got, jumping out the pickup, sleep trigger just here, and we've got another one of our factories, but I think even though we own the land, we still have to buy this, I think. Yeah, 45 grand, we can buy another charcoal factory just here, and I think we've got another one a bit further on, we'll get to later on. I'm going to head back down towards the main farm, and then we'll go and look at the first of the field flooding options. Like I said, it's cool. So I'm going to cut down the side of here, over to this shed. We've got a forage wagon tucked away over here in the shed. We start with a little bit of equipment, not a huge amount, but enough. So you'll notice at the moment we've got all these pipes, and the water is in the fields, rippling away. Forage wagon over there in the shed. And we've got this pipe here, and you see the water flowing out of that? So we come down to here, we've got a float there, and the pipe going into the river. Pump running, brings the water, pours it into the drainage ditches, and off it goes. So if we come over to here, and click on remove water, turns the pump off. Water has stopped running out of the pipe. These have run dry, and all our fields should now be drained on this area. Yeah. Now, what I will say, I probably said it. I like the fact that you have still got some little sort of wet areas, not fully watered, but you know. Yeah, I think I might have said it on the clip, but yeah, when I was doing that bit before, I should have drained the fields before I was doing it, because if you're dropping hay bales out the back of a baler, they're dropping into water. That's, yeah, you wouldn't do that. You drain it first, but yeah, my bad. Sorry. I'll turn that back on, get the fields flooded again, and there are different ones for different areas. There we go. Water starts going again. We're off. Excellent stuff. Right, let's head out of the farm and get around the rest of the map. And it is interesting, I think, from the thumbnail as well, looking out across that and knowing that we've got an Asian map coming. It did have that look. It had a look of an Asian map. I think with the hills and mountains around the outside as well, and you know, I suppose similar climates is why certain crop types grow well in these climates. So out from the farm. We're heading southeast, down south. Actually, technically as well, south of the river, isn't it? Don't want to go down there in London. Ooh. Was it the Richards? I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm sidetracking somewhat. London history, gangs of London. Was it the Richardsons? It was the Crays and the Richardsons. Was the Richardsons south of the river? I can't remember. Anyway, sell point just here. This is the BR warehouse for grain sales, which is just here. Sell point. And then just around the back here we've got a lime production. Now on New Farmer at the start, we do start with 3 productions. Down at the farm we've got the charcoal factory, we've got the rice husker, and we own this as well. Interestingly enough, so I'm going to click on that, we've already got it there. So those 3 we start with on New Farmer. On Farm Management to start from scratch, you won't have the husked rice and the rice husker and the factory coal until you buy the land, because that's what's on there. I didn't think to check whether you still had this, because what's curious is we don't. Okay, hang on, double check this. We're all the way down here now. Oh, we do. Is that part of? Oh, no, okay. So that's it's because we own that plot. I didn't even notice that. That would be why then. So yeah, on the other 2 game modes, you won't own this until you buy the land, but we do have. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. I think when I did one of the map tours the other day it was a 1-to-6, which was bonkers, but this is a 1-to-1 stones to lime. If you want to produce your own, you absolutely can. So what we're going to do now is head back and in towards the town. I know it sounds weird, I don't know. I'm not trying to insult anybody, that's not my intention. And I guess, like any country anyway, especially big countries where climates and regions and stuff differ. I mean, even the UK it's the same, you know. Areas differ greatly. Mountainous areas in Wales and the Lake District and places like that. And then you've got rolling dales and hills of places like Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, and around there you've got quite flat land. It does change quite dramatically. I don't know whether because this doesn't seem overly Brazilian. I know that sounds weird. I know often when you get a map and it comes up it's a Brazilian map, you can almost not guess what the features are going to be on it. But I think I said in the previous map tour the other day, there will be a quarry, there will be this, you know, this isn't that, and I think that might be why it stands out as well. Hope I haven't missed the one I was going to show, but also the layout of it, the lighting, the colour palette, the texture, it works really well. Have I mentioned it works well? I think I might have done a few times. Bump up and down that, but it's all good. Now this one here is a little bit different. So before we turn into the store, when I say turn into the store, we're not going to turn into a store, but you know what I mean. Open the gate this side. There we go. Now I don't own the land, but as you can see, if we come over to here, we've got a little shovel there, and what we'll do here, the water is flowing all the time from the main channel, And then what we're doing is we're adding and removing. You said, whoa, that was weird. Was that where the fence was? We're adding and removing these pipes. So if I remove water, takes the pipes away, puts them there, and the fields drain. And we put them back. All we're doing is we're just tapping into the water running around the outside. And the fact they are different, and not across the entire map, they're not all different. And the fact you've got a little shovel there as well. It's those little details. Like, so they just stand out to me. I'll come back and do the gates, don't worry. Now, something I was going to say at the start, and I forgot to mention. When I said about on Farm Management Start from Scratch, you don't have any of the start machinery and equipment. If we go back to the map, you will see. So we went from the farm up to there, came back down from the farm, did that little bit there by the river, came out and over to here. We've now come across here, along there, all the way along, and we're here. You might notice littered around, there are trailers all over the place. There are loads of, there's tankers, trailers. I think we've got a lumber trailer up there as well. And here at the workshop, we've got a lorry, and we have also got a forklift truck. Those remain on all three game modes anyway. Whilst they say you own them, they're not technically owned or leased by you. They're not on your thing. I mean, obviously they are taking up slot count, but you can't remove them. So as you can see over here, low loader with lorry there, forklift truck there. We've got a sales point here, debris crusher. That's a standard one, not a line production. So we've got a sales point here, so shop sales. Line, hang on, that wasn't a line station, was it? That was a buying point. I think it was a multi-buy point, if I recall. Yeah, multi-station for purchasing of items. Again, if you don't know what you can buy at certain locations, should say that. Right, so on there, if we look across, left-hand column is what they will pay you. Right-hand column, selling, is what you can buy for. So when you go down anything in that right-hand column, and it says multi-station, these things can be purchased from that multi-station. So if you're not sure what you can buy at the multi-station, if you roll down your prices menu and look on the right hand, if something comes up on the right hand column, well, that's gas, the gas station. It'll be fertilizer and stuff like that, I would imagine. It usually is. Some of them are crop types as well. If it's a full multi-buy station, what we got there? There we go, solid fertilizer, not liquid fertilizer, but multi-station. So there's a few things there we can get from the multi-station. We've got our vehicle shop just here, workshop trigger just here, and this is the reset point for the map as well. I like the fact it's all pretty custom as well. You know, obviously there's the required mods that are in. Across the way we have a multi-fuel station. We have gas, we've got lecky, and we have got methane. It's all going on. Then we're going to turn up here after le gas station, and we're going to turn down to plot 8. Now this farm here, you've got a very small gateway here, and you might look and think, well, that's no good. How am I going to get bigger machinery and equipment in? There is a route around. Again, we'll go back to the map. So I've come up here. If you come up one further up and come along and back down, there are other ways in. I am also going to, I wonder if, because you can do gateways and fences, yeah, I can probably just remove it. If you wanted to, you could just remove that gate, remove the two fence sections either side, and you've got a bigger area to get through if you wanted to. But if you like that as an option, again, leave it. It's up to you. Always save your game just to make sure. So plot 8, just here. I haven't purchased yet, but I'm about to do it. Do that. We've got a sleep trigger. We've got a shed. Another house, like the one we had at our farm, with sleep and wardrobe just in there. I meant to go out the door before it. There we go. Now close it. The sheds, these ones, you have to come in the small door before you can open the large door. So if you've bought the land and you're saying to yourself, I don't understand it, why then we'll get, that's why. The gates will only open if you go into them. And then come down here, and this one was slightly different. Again, like I say, I love it. This is very cool. So we've got our water channel and we've got our pipe work. We can do it from here, which will do the same thing, just remove the pipes. But we come to this one here. This is cool. Watch this. So what we've done is shut the water off to this whole side. That one does all that side, but this one, by raising and lowering of that, no, they could have all just been the same. The map makers could have just gone, oh, you know what? Oh, There you go. Let's just have them all the same, but they're not. Cool feature, cool touch, liking it a lot. I've always said with mods, map tours, I like it when something different comes along, something stands out for whatever reason, and it may not stand out for you. You might say, well, you know, if you're watching this on PC or not on PC, but you play PC or console, you might say, oh, I played on loads of maps, so I've got stuff this, and that's fine. That's no problem with that at all. That's absolutely fantastic. More power to you. We come across here. We have got, get this right, the Gaucho restaurant here with the sell point around the back. Pizzeria next door to it, just there. Bakery next door to that, which is a standard bakery. Spinnery next door to that, which is a standard spinnery. Across the way we have got a sell point for our charcoal, so our various different charcoal factories. And then around the back, so you see the red one there, that's where you sell your charcoal. Around the back is Grocery Mart, and the first of the trailers, well, it's not the first of the trailers because there was the low loader, but tucked around the back here, probably saw it as we drove around, we've got a trailer there, which is yours to utilise and do what you want with, or not. Again, you might come on and say, but I don't like the fact we've been given stuff. Then don't use it. Work your way up to buying your own trailers. Again, you don't have to use the stuff that's on here, that's absolutely fine. Come across here, we've got dairy. Now the dairy, I think the dairy has a sell point as well as, one of the others does as well as it being a dairy. I think it's standard as well. Pretty sure. That could just be for putting the productions in, but I'm sure it said. Tanker, just there. Again, another trailer added in. I mean, technically, until you buy the dairy, if you've got milk and stuff, you can bring it and sell it here. Once you've owned it, then it ceases to be a sell point, I suppose. That's the same for most places. Right, couple of plots now that need to be purchased. One on the right-hand side of the road, one on the left-hand side of the road. Whoops. It's the trees. So let's open the gate. Swing it around. So we are now, came from plot 8 down there, did all those across the back there, these here, the couple of trailers thrown in, so we are now at plot 9, and then we got plot 5. So plot 9, it's not horrendously expensive considering the land you're getting with it. And then plot 5, do that and that, we get all these extra icons appear. So sleep trigger at the house there, come across the way just here, sheep and goats just there, didn't say but it showed on the screen, 25, and then across the way chickens, ducks, ducklings and chicks, 30 of just there. So a smaller plot. And again, if you wanted to start elsewhere, not start with the main farm, and you want to have a little, you know, you might want to start with a little farmstead and build your way up. That's fantastic, absolutely great. Plot 5 across the way. Sleep trigger just there. Workshop trigger just there. I didn't check to see if it opens, it doesn't. Right here, horses. Now that's what I was saying. So the horses don't have foals. We've just got regular horses. No foals with those. Whereas the other animal types do. And I think, if I recall correctly, this one's a standard. Yeah, with the shovel, just removes the pipes and stuff. There are flooded areas all over the place. If we go back to the map, when we drove back past here, we went past all of this here. I think we got some extra ones out this way as well. So there's all different options. The river runs all the way along there, so we've got this section here too. I might stop there and have a look. Let me just check plot 2, because I can't remember now. I didn't buy it. Yeah, we'll go that on the way out. So plot 2 we'll go to... Actually, we'll go to in a minute, because we've got to head out that way. We'll go to plot 2. I'm glad I did that. I didn't write it on my notes. But that's where we're heading, so. So next turning on our left, before we get to these facilities, just here, you can see the animal dealer to the side there, with a mixture of cows and calves and stuff. I've said that many times before, I like an immersive animal dealer, where animals are moving around. I know it adds to, you know, slot counts and megabyte downloads and that kind of stuff, but it does massively add to the immersion of a map. So, down to plot 2. Mint, properly mint. Chickens, chicks, ducks and ducklings, 360. Sleep trigger inside that room, inside that door. I'm not going to slide the patio doors into my face again. Another shed, just here. Where's the water point? This might be another one. There you go. It's another one of these opens and closes that way. That side's done over there. This one does the fields that way. Do it again, raise it back up. Nice. And then sheep and goats, 65 of. So when I said about getting the slot count down to 1371, you can get it lower than that, because I removed the buildings that were at the main farm. I didn't remove any of the buildings at these outlying farms. So all these other farms that have got animal pens and stuff on, if you buy the plots of land, actually it doesn't hurt to, again, double check while we're here. Yep, they can all be removed, so you can get the slot count down lower than that if you particularly want it lower, or you decide, well, I'm not going to use that farm, I'm not going to use the stuff that's on it, I might as well remove it, and then you've got a bit of land there you can do something else with if you want, and it just gives you more scope for whatever you're doing. I can't think of a map yet where I've got anywhere near the slot limit, even on my current Let's Play where I've done the apocalypse sort of situation, and I put tons of stuff on that map. I'm nowhere near the slot limit. So right down in the southwest, coming to here, bale and pallet storage. Oh no, this wasn't bale and pallet storage. We've got a spinnery. This is Mr. Cotton, so this is bales, but this is a spinnery. Next door is the sell point. So that's sell point for cotton, or bales, that's a bale sell point. And then next door to that is a spinnery, although it says bales Mr. Cotton, but it is a spinnery. As you've just seen, it's a production. Then across the way, cotton bale trailer. Like I said, it does say owned by you. I'm trying to think if I've ever tried to on a map where I don't think you can sell them. There might have been an odd map here and there that when you try to, you don't get anything for them if it does let you, but generally speaking they don't, because it's not technically on your inventory. Anyway, that's there. Whoa, that was close. That could have gone horribly wrong there. Catapult myself. So, as we said, animal dealer, left hand side. There's a livestock trailer in there as well. So livestock trailer just there, animal dealer just here, with all sorts of animals knocking about. Look, they all seem very happy, don't they? Pioneer, sell point, and like I said right at the start, all of these plots can be purchased. So if you want to add stuff in, sell points and things, you can, because the sell point is just this bit here. Now something, I'll double check it again. Like I say, it wasn't something I was intending to do, but now I'm here, I suddenly thought, you know what, it certainly doesn't hurt to have a check. If I buy plot 43, do that and that, go into here, can I demolish any of this? No, I didn't think I'd be able to. But again, it certainly doesn't hurt to double check, because if you can, there's still plenty of space. It's not like you're short of room. And then over here, another trailer for your use if you require it. Then we come across the way to the biogas plant. Now, if I recall from my, if I recall on my notes, so we're here. The plot, like I say, you can buy them all, but the plot can be purchased separately. Not very expensive either, 27,392. If I recall, the biogas plant isn't expensive either, and we have got a tanker around there as well. Let's buy that. What did I just pay for that? 20 grand. Sorry, I'm saying it's not expensive. What I wanted to check for is standard biogas plant. That's not what I was checking for. We'll digest that out. But what I was going to check was buying that. Did that buy the land? No. So the land is definitely separate. You can buy it individually and not buy the biogas plant. But combined, it's, you know, it's peanuts. What's that coming? 57 grand for the land and the biogas plant? That's a win. Out from here to the end of the road, we've got the biomass heating plant sell point, not a production, just there. Now we're going to head up. Let's go north. I didn't touch those cones, that wasn't me. That's weird. So we want the next turning on our left. Just here. Let's go northwest. I will reiterate again as I'm running up this hill looking, thinking there's a lot of fencing. It can be removed. It might take a little while to do it if you wanted to remove it all. So we're coming up into the forest zones, and what I was saying earlier, you've got your denser forest areas for logging and stuff like that. Then you've got this area out here which is a lot more open, so whilst there are trees on it, we go to the map, this area all up the top here, while there are trees on it, it is quite open, so you could go with an either agroforestry route, or if you wanted to put animal pens up here, or if you wanted to clear a few trees and, you know, and plough out more fields, it's a lot easier to do on the sparsely populated forest areas. So, oh, this was the one I was thinking of. So we're at Mr. Woods. Mr. Woods sawmill. Just here, standard sawmill. If we come over here and buy the production, like so. Wood in, planks and wood chip out. But I'm pretty sure this has got a double, like an overlaid sell point. Because I'm sure it says sale of, where are we? Lumber company, Mr. Woods, for sale of logs and wood chips. But again, I suppose it's like any of the sell points, isn't it? The fact it's got a double one here, I thought, but then once you own it, how can it differentiate between what you want to sell and what you want to use? So it's a sell point until you buy it, isn't it? And yeah, the same as all the others. It's whenever, you know, when you're doing a map tour and you get a new map and you read through the description of the map and you're trying to work out what it means. And sometimes you think, oh, well, that's a cool feature, that's different. And when you actually read into it and then you think, well, actually, no, that's but that is what normally happens, isn't it? It just threw me having the two, although that one is raised a little bit, isn't it? That's, yeah, off the ground just a tad. But anyway, lumber trailer, just there. And then we'll come down and go across to the final location we're going to head to. There is also on here, which was one of those, as I was doing my prep, went along, went, oh, that kind of, I mean, it's on the map. When you look at the overview of the map, it's there, but it kind of surprised me as I was driving along. You'll see what I mean in a moment. It's a lot of scope. And it is that, it's very cool. The very bottom of the valley, alongside the river, all the flooded fields you can see down there. I don't know. Vineyards to our left. So if you want to do a bit of a vineyardery, if you want to do some grapes, you can. But again, you don't have to. It is there. So we come up here. This is plot 28. Just here. Back to the map. So from here, down along, past it, like I say, it's there, you can see it's grapes, you know, but plot 28, and it takes in all of that. So a little bit more expensive for this one. Not, again, not horrendously when you think of the amount of land you're getting there. Sleep trigger, just there. Come across there to our sheep and goats, 15 of. And then we have got another one of these, but again, you have to purchase this separately. There you go, buy production for 45 grand. And then we've got another charcoal production. If you're working, clearing the trees, make some charcoal, sell it in the town, why not? Couple that with making some adult grape juice and running some animals, you know. It's very cool. I'm going to keep saying that. Whenever I do map tours on maps and I think, this is brilliant, I just want people to know it's there. I just want people to say, look at this, you know. Don't look at the mod hub and just go, oh, you know, it's another this, it's another that. Because this is brilliant. It's a great map. Anyway, AGRO SUL rice by AGROCAIPIRA. I'm saying Caipira, Caipira. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you choose to do. Thanks for watching.